You know, that bow trend, it's still going strong, and we can't get enough. It's taken its place in our hair, our front doors, on our mantels, everywhere. And it's now extending to our jeans. Seamstress and artist Acadia Herbst is here to show us fun and unique ways to add that bow detail to our denim. It's darling for you, but a look that your daughter would love too. Welcome to the show. First time here. Happy to have you. Okay, so you brought us some really fun ideas. What do you love about the bow moment that's happening?
Oh, something that's so fun about the bows is it's so versatile, and it could be really simple, something that you can have and remove, or you can add and keep forever. I think it's great for the upcycling world, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys.
Okay, fun. And she sells these things, so she knows what sells. Let's talk first about something really simple, just tacking on a bow.
Yep. So you got it. Tacking on is just taking a bow simply from some ribbon that you can buy at the Dollar Tree, and you can just tie your bow, sew it straight on with a couple stitches, and the best thing about it is you can just snip it off when you're done, and when the trend is over, you have a pair of jeans that's still wearable.
Yeah, like so these that are on the pockets. So you just did like a simple stitch in and out. You make the bow first. Any type of ribbon that you think works better?
I typically like the thinner, smaller ones. But you know, depending on your style, you can go big and bold. But anything nice and slippery, I like a little shine on it.
I like that your idea that you say you can just snip it off when you're done, so you're not ruining your jeans.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you think you might not do this all the time. The other way you say is we can do bows that go all the way down the sides of our jeans.
Yeah, so an example I've done in the past, there was gingham pants that really also took the Instagram feeds away this summer. So I did make a pair of those from scratch, but I added a seam up the side that split it.
Yeah.
Yep, and you just add the little bows. I think it's a great project for someone who's a little more advanced and wants to take those extra steps.
Yeah, so you can do it
to anything.
So you can do it to other pants, not just denim, any type of pant.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, and these ones where you actually sew them on, are you saying, when you say tack, that just means a simple stitch? You're not using a sewing machine or anything?
Oh, no, yeah, just go hand sew, use your needle and thread 3 times, depending on how many, you know, how secure you want it there, but if it's something temporary, least the better.
Okay, the other idea you say is that we can just add a bow several different places.
Yeah.
Like you've done on this one, you just tied it to that back belt loop.
Yep.
What are some other places?
So I've seen people do them around the cuffs as well, which is kind of fun. You can tack them to the edges of your pockets. I've also seen people tie them from the side loops to the back to help take in a pair of jeans that might be too big. So really anywhere you want.
And you tried lace on these ones, so you've sampled some different ribbons too. That's so fun. I kind of wanted to look at these pockets just to see what that stitch looks like that you've sewn on. It's really easy.
Yeah, nothing too complicated. You can make it look really good, or you know, if you're a beginner, it's on the inside. Nobody sees it. Just get a matching color thread.
Just by hand. So if we could sew on a button, you think we could
Oh
probably
yeah, this is easier than a button. Buttons trip people up sometimes.
Okay, now let's talk about, so we talked about sewing them to the knees, putting them on the back of on a belt loop or anything. But you say another way we could maybe try to dabble with this is painting.
Yes.
Now this isn't going to be something we can snip off and be done.
No,
This is
unfortunately
permanent.
not, yeah. So screen printing is a technique I love to use for all sorts of different trends. You can see that I have a pair here and on the mannequin as well. So screen printing can get a little expensive, but I like to DIY it at home. And I take a thrifted frame and I staple some mesh on the back of it. And I use a vinyl cutter to make my stencil.
Okay, so you're making your own screen printing.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this. Okay, so you bought this frame.
Yep.
And then messy. When you say mesh, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so this is screen or like silk screen grade mesh that you can buy on Amazon in the store.
Right?
Yep. And then you just cut it to size, staple it on real tight, and then you have a screen.
And then what are you cutting out your design on?
Yeah, so if you're familiar with crickets or silhouettes, like vinyl cutting machines.
This is just vinyl.
Yep, that's just vinyl. I use a removable so that I can reuse my screen. You know, come and go with all the trends.
So looking at your two that you brought, as they almost look embroidered from a little far away.
Yeah, they can look really
So
professional.
we're going to attempt to do this ourselves.
Yeah,
well, I'm going to attempt it. You know how to do it. Okay, tell me how we're doing
Yeah,
it.
so you want to make sure that your surface is nice and flat. We're just going to take the screen, which you can kind of see when you hold it up through the light. You're going to make sure it's nice and flat.
And you're going to put the paint on the back side?
So you put it right here.
Oh, because it goes through the mesh.
Yep, and
okay,
then
I
you
get
slide
it.
it down. So this is fabric.
Is this a two-person job? Like, I feel like I need to hold this steady for you.
Usually, a professional way to do it is to have it pressed.
Okay.
I kneel on it on the floor.
Because you want it tight.
Yeah, so you're just gonna hold it down.
And then what's the tool you're using to?
A squeegee. Sometimes people use a credit card.
Okay.
This is just what I use. And then you just pull it down nice and hard. You can go over it a few times.
Is one pass over usually enough?
I like to do a few times just to make sure that the color really goes through.
So don't lift it up yet because you're going to do it again?
So I just did it a few times.
Oh, okay.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Are we ready?
Yep, we can lift it up. And there's a little screen print.
So just depending on how detailed you cut that vinyl, you'll get a different shape.
Yeah,
so you
absolutely.
can do any shape you like.
So you can see on these ones I have something that's a little more, slightly more detailed, you know, has the ribbon on the insides, but this one I just chose simple.
And are you just doing it randomly, like, or do you like to do it? Okay.
No, I usually just go with the flow and see what happens. So you can place it wherever you want, no pressure.
What type of paint are we using on this?
So this is Blick fabric screen printing ink.
So it's a certain type of ink.
Yep. So I have seen people use acrylic and things like that, but that's not going to have the same longevity as something that's meant for fabric.
Okay, so I see that you did it on the sweatshirt too. Any fabric works pretty well?
Yeah, something, you don't want anything too textured. Pressure and texture go really well together, so if it is something textured, press really hard. But yeah.
I love this
the world
idea.
is your oyster.
You made it seem really easy.
Yeah,
I feel like I could attempt
try it? Yeah.
Well, I'll try it in the break, but tell us right now, for people to get more ideas from you, where's the best place?
Yeah, so this is what I do for a living. You can find me on all socials, 111 Threads, website 111threads.com. So it's 111 Threads. And yeah, Instagram is the place to be. TikTok, if it's still around.
It's here for now.
Yeah.
It's here for now. Acadia, thank you so much.
Of course.
We'll link you over to her website from ours too, so don't you worry.